Hello there, everyone. Welcome back to Castlevania 3. You will note that the game is still paused, and the reason is I want to go and tell you something before I begin. I want to say that despite what I might say in this episode, that I have quite enjoyed Castlevania 3, and I continue to enjoy it. I've played a little bit of the stage after this, and I still, as it turns out, quite like the game. But I absolutely despise this stage. This is stage 6. It is the bridge over to Castlevania, to Dracula's castle, and it is miserable. With all of these Castlevania games, I think that there is a point. With Castlevania 1, the point, for me, was the death boss fight. That was the moment that I kinda, having really enjoyed the game up until that point, really thinking it holds up well even to this day, that was the point that I really did go, I'm not sure about this anymore. I'm not sure I still like this. And for this game, this is the point. Stage 6. And you know, I enjoy things after it. I enjoyed stage 6 in Castlevania 1, even after the death boss fight. But this is the point where you go, okay, maybe the game is not infallible. So, let's get into it. There might be a lot of cutting and there might be a lot of restarting in this episode because I have not been able to get to the boss with any sort of consistency. Let's unpause, try and take out these hunchbacks, get my ass kicked, but is what it is, I suppose. Up there, that is the reason that this stage is so atrocious. The axe armor. Just a truly awful enemy. They rely on you effectively playing a little bit of a dance with them, jumping up and down, or I should say crouching up and down, in times with their axe swings. Here is the problem. Trevor, as far as I can gather, is actually quite a young man. He's not like Christopher in The Adventure, where he's actually quite elderly. He's a young, supposedly sprightly Belmont. But he certainly doesn't feel it. And he certainly especially doesn't feel it when he's crouching, because he takes an age to crouch down, and unless you have a fully upgraded whip, that is far too long to deal with the axe armors. They will crouch down and hit you with the axe before you can get back up to face them. And you will die like that a lot. That's actually a boon, because after the last episode, we only got into this stage with a single attempt left, and, you know, we'd be restarting it anyway, so we might as well reset and get into it. Part of the reason that the axe armors are so annoying is because they will do their throwing animation and then take like another half second sometimes to actually throw out the weapon. So, you know, you'll hit in time with them throwing or doing the throwing animation, because like, okay, they're about to fire out their projectile. And sometimes they do. Let's even say usually they do. But maybe 1 in 5 times they do it, they just won't throw out the projectile for another couple of moments. And it's just like, come on, man, what am I supposed to do with that? How am I supposed to react to you're not firing out the weapon that you're supposed to? It's a nightmare. This stage is actually quite easy. I'm just really messing this up for some reason. I'm doing really quite poorly, but usually this stage is simple. I don't know why I'm suddenly doing so poorly on it. I should also say, you'll note that we are playing as Trevor, and like last time, we are going to be playing as Trevor for the vast majority of this stage. Sypha, unlike last time, will actually be useful in the boss fight. And like last time against Frankenstein's monster, where for some reason he didn't take any damage from any of her spells. The bosses in this stage actually do go down really quickly if C fights them. So C will come up there, but until then, it's Trevor all of the way. Right, this is the point that the stage really falls apart. Stage Block 6C. Up until now, the stage has actually been pretty good. Not perfect, but simple enough to deal with. But part of that is because you're not actually going that far into the stage before getting to another checkpoint with which you can kind of rest up at. It is at block C that things really fall apart, because this block takes up like 60% of the stage. It's a really long block. It's the most difficult block. You get no healing. There's a load of places where you can just take damage and not really have any way to deal with it. Like that, for example. If you get unlucky, that bat will just hit you. And that's the end of the debate. There's a load of axe armors. There's just nothing you can really do to avoid taking at least some damage. And it just lasts forever. So, and there's just no healing. The only healing in the entire stage, in the entirety of stage 6, comes in right at the very end. As you transition between block C and block D, which is quite annoying because I'll be honest, when we get there you'll see why. But you don't really need to heal in block D, because if you get hit, you die immediately anyway. So it's kind of pointless giving you the healing item at that point. It's really quite annoying. It's a strange decision. And I get the feeling there's going to be a recurring problem with the rest of the game, that there just isn't as much healing as there really needs to be. This section's, the problem with it is that fighting the crows is always really annoying. Like, they just don't move in a way that's conducive to hitting them, even if you vaguely know their pattern. Or even if they stick to their pattern, because there's a fair chance that they just don't. And again, I'm really messing this up. This section's actually really easy. I don't know why all of a sudden I'm doing so poorly on it. Take out this guy. I mean, we're kind of screwed because we've got 1 hit point to deal with anything, and pretty much everything in this stage deals at least 3. So we are kind of screwed, but we might as well go forth just in case. Yeah, I will say this much, is that the axe armors get a lot more bearable if you have a fully upgraded whip. They definitely feel like an enemy that was intended to be fought with a fully upgraded whip, because then you've kind of got the room to play the up and down game with them. If you don't have a fully upgraded whip, which you won't have in most of your encounters with them in this stage, they become a lot more annoying because you don't have that leeway with which to see, okay, they're firing up, I gotta stand up and attack them there. You don't get that leeway. And as you can see, you just kinda take the damage, there's not much you can do. Jump down here, you need to make sure you get down here quickly, so that you can get to the bone pillar before they start firing out again, because they will knock you off of the leads and into the void. You'll die immediately. Okay, this is kind of annoying. Sometimes, there it is, sometimes the game just won't give you the whip upgrade required to hit these guys, and you do need to hit them to make sure that you get to the next section unscathed. Like, come on. Right, you kind of want to spawn this guy in, and then in my experience it's best to just throw the axes from here to whittle them down. It's one of those situations, it's like, why do these guys have so much HP? They have like 6 or 7, haha, HP. Don't hit that one, it's got a holy water in it, that's not the item you want. Oh, come on. It's like, why do you have so much HP? There are other knight enemies in the game, and each of them have like 2 HP. So it's like, why do these guys have so much HP? Because it's just infuriating to deal with. Come on, there we are. Okay, I'm going to say we are still screwed. Probably we are nearly at the point where we can get some healing, but there is, I'm going to say, a really annoying bat enemy that spawns in this section. And if that guy doesn't kill you, that bat will kill you, because you'll always get to that section with no HP left, having to deal with all of the axe armors earlier. Right, we're back away to spawn the hunts back. Or the cycle rabbits, I think they're called in the Japanese version. Okay, and we get cornered in. And the axe armor actually decides to follow us this time. Oh, okay, just kill me. and we'll reset. There we are. We were screwed at that point. Right, we will probably lose continue here, but what can you do? In this section, I find if you can keep the knives instead of grabbing the holy water, you can pick at least this guy off from a distance, and then you do want to grab the axe, because that is better for everything else we're about to go fight. But at least for that guy, you can pick him off with the knife. That pillar of bones is pretty easy, it's just practically every other pillar of bones in the level that's a lot more annoying. Get down here quickly. Turn around and deal with that guy quickly. I get kind of what they're trying to do with that bit of level design. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Get one hit in there. Oh, just about worked. We're going to go down the stairs just a little bit to spawn the guy in. And actually we're doing pretty well. I think as long as we can get to the next section, we're actually in a good position. And I think we can. With the number of hearts we have, we can take this guy out pretty quickly as long as we're careful. Ah, I really like that clock. But unfortunately we hit it with the axe, and it's safer to try and take this guy out from down here with the axe than it is going up there. Go for it. The clock would have trivialized the last section before we get to a checkpoint. But alas, we just have to go like that. And be careful with everything else we fight for the rest of the section. Oh, damn it! Damn it! God, I cannot put into words how much I hate this level, and this section of the level in particular. There's just, if there was one extra bit of healing in the entire stage, I really don't think it would be a problem, but you go so long, kinda sometimes taking damage, sometimes not, you can't really guess it, because these axe armors are so unpredictable. Like, if there's just one extra point to heal, or the axe armors just had like 1 or 2 extra less HP points, I think this stage would be fine, but there's just every little problem with the elements present within it really screw it over. Like things like, why is block C so long compared to every other block? Come on, I hit that. I'm hitting these fireballs. Why are you still hitting me? God above. Okay, well, we're kind of screwed now. But whatever, I guess. We can try for the best. Hope for the best, I should say. Take this guy out from a distance, of course, because it's too scary trying to go down the stairs. I have no words. I have truly no words. It's just, like, you do the animation and sometimes you just don't fire out a projectile, so like, what am I supposed to do with that? Or like, you do the animation and then it takes you like half an age to throw the projectile out afterwards. Like, sometimes my whip's out and it just doesn't hit the projectile. And I end up leaving this really easy section that you clearly expect me to get through pretty much unscathed, with 4 HP left to go and conquer the entire rest of the section. It's like, this is unbelievably rancid enemies I'm having to fight here. Like, it really is just the fact that I'm having to fight axe armors that really do ruin the whole thing. Right, once again we get here with knives, so we use our usual strategy of just throw them from a distance, occasionally ducking down when he fires an axe down low. Take that one out to keep ourselves safe. But we knock him out fairly quickly. We grab the axe. We spawn the replacement hunchback, the psycho rabbit. They're really easy to deal with. I remember in the first game, they're like the really annoying enemy, and the axe armors are actually pretty a-okay to deal with, but now in this stage, no, it's very much the other way around. Oh, come on! No, don't want a clock. We actually want that later. For now, very much the axe we want. Take this guy out while we're safe. Or these guys, I suppose. Who knows how the Pillar of Bones work from a biological standpoint? Are they two separate beings stacked on top of each other? Is it just one, like, hive mind? Does it have two brains? Like, how does it work? Don't go up those stairs. You're giving me anxiety after that time you fell down them. Oh, I really wish there was a way that you could really hit this guy with the axe without hitting the clock, because that's really the MVP of this remaining section. But, you know, sacrifices must be made, risks must be taken. Well, we're avoiding a risk, but we're opening ourselves up to new risks now. Sometimes it can be a little hard to tell. If I hit you with axes from a distance, because we don't really need the hearts at the moment. There, that benefits us both. And finally, we get to the final section with actually a fair number of retries, so I'm actually quite happy with how this has gone out. We can take this guy with the axe, actually. We are going to change to Sypha very quickly, because we are going to grab one item with them. This one to grab the flame spell, which I haven't really used much at all up until now. It's just not been better than her other spells. But it is a case of we just want to grab whatever spell we can get a hold of. This can be a bit of an unnerving section with how close some of these fistmen can spawn to you. Especially like on other platforms. Ooh, terrifying. Right, this has screwed me over a little bit, but works out in the end. Did take a hit more than I would like, but is what it is. Right, I think this is an axe. We actually want to keep the boomerang. Right, we're about to go fight the boss of the stage, the water dragons. They're not actually too bad. I think they're a little bit glitchy. Like, especially with that. But if you know your placement, they're actually not too bad to fight. Especially with Sypha's spells. If you just stay in the middle platform, there's only like 2 places they can be that they can hit you at. And you can use that as an opportunity to deal a lot of damage. Oh, unless you end up in a situation like this, where both of them spawn in at once. Oh, scary. But now that there's only one left, I do think we are in a safe position, because the next time they come up there, we hit them with the spell from a safe distance, and they're done. Unless, yeah, sometimes they don't take damage from the spell, which is always a bit scary, because then that's the moment we have to go and get Trevor out and whip and hope for the best, because he's not as good as fighting them as Sypha is, but eventually, in that case we got lucky, they did eventually turn around. And now, we enter Castlevania proper. Yeah, up until now, because Castlevania is the other name for Dracula's castle, that's the wrong button. Because Castlevania is the real name of Dracula's castle, we haven't actually been in Castlevania yet. But now we are. We've entered the castle courtyard, a stage which, from the little bit that I have played, is a nice change of pace after the bridge. God. Awful, 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 awful level. Hateful level. But it's over. And hopefully, it's the worst the game gets. I haven't looked around it. You know, with other Castlevanias, I knew that, for example, Castlevania 1, it was stage 6, the clock tower that everyone really hated. I don't know what, like, the hated level is in this game. I'm hoping it's the Brits. I'm hoping that's the worst it gets. But yeah, For now, I would like to say thank you all for watching. Tune in next time. I hope you enjoyed the video, and ciao.